Hi, Sudis. How are you doing? Welcome to Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across videos, everybody saying the same thing. And there is something I said on this video that how do you think that everybody is saying the same thing about you? And you all still are in doubt if it's true or not. It means you all also do not know yourself, right? You've been living with people for how many years? For decades, right? And they've been telling you the same thing, how rate disease you all behave towards them and all that. And you think maybe they are making it up. No, they are not making it up. What they are saying is very valid. And it is actually time for you people to introspect yourselves and ask yourself, why do we behave the way we behave towards those people? It has always, I think it's obsession, right? It has always been, as long as it is not going to hurt me, let me do it. And then in the end, you are hurting others, you hurt yourself and hurt others. And one thing I have noticed about these people is that they don't also mind being hurt as long as you are also feeling the heat. That is how crazy it is. That's why each time you say that, if I say that all my guys are ready to cease, you see all of them jump up and look for a way to defend. Like the fact that they go on defense mode once you say that tells you actually that is who they are. And the things they also say, it's good enough for you to know that black people have never lied about how they feel or what they experience. Let's get into.
I have a conservative who's butthurt because I said all MAGAs are racist. Take a look.
All MAGAs are racist. I used to try to be fair. I used to say, so quick question, does that include Black Americans, Latino Americans, Chinese American that voted for Donald Trump? Are they racist also? Or maybe you are the racist.
Let's be real. No Black, Latino, or Asian is voting for Donald Trump because they fully align with this ideology. When it happens, it's usually out of manipulation or economic fear or lack of political education. That doesn't make it right, but it does explain it. But white conservatives are a completely different story, and you know that. They understand racial coding, they hear the dog whistles, they know exactly what Trump stands for, and they vote for him anyway. Y'all are not confused when it comes to Donald Trump. Y'all are committed to Donald Trump, following everything that man does. And with that being said, y'all know exactly what you're following. And notice how white conservatives love to call black people racist when black people call out their racism. But I digress. Let's see what else he has to say.
If you are a Democrat, you definitely are. You need to research history, and don't sit here and tell me they switched parties because that's bullshit.
Now, let me be clear. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a Democrat, but I am a pan-African socialist who takes accurate history seriously. When people say that the Democrats are the party of slavery, they leave out the other part of the truth. It was white conservatives of that time who supported slavery, owned slaves. They just happened to wear the Democratic Party label of that time. The ideology didn't change, just the party names. As you see, conservatives wear the Republican Party label now, and liberals wear the Democratic Party label now. You cannot point in any time in history where leftists, progressives, or liberals were out here owning slaves. Political ideologies matter so much more than political party labels, and that's what y'all don't understand. It's always been white conservatives, whether they called themselves Democrats in the 1800s or Republicans here in 2025. Same mindset, just different branding. And yes, all MAGAs are racist.
Okay, has everyone had a chance to try to recuperate from the past few days and everything that has happened? Good, because I'm about to throw you right back into hell. White people, first of all, good morning. Remember when I said that y'all are the problem with America? And so many people, including black people, got into their feelings about what I said because they wanted to act as if I didn't know what I was talking about. Understand this, okay? Too many white people are racist. And because so many white people are racist, you refuse to protect or defend yourselves or anyone else from the consequences of the actions caused by your racism. You're not going to like the next couple of years. But as long as other people are suffering, you're good with it. Y'all truly are the living embodiment of chopping off your own noses to save your faces. As long as you can hold on to white supremacy, you're fine. And I also want to challenge everybody, every race, color, creed, ethnicity, nationality, to answer this question for me. Before we talk about the things that we need to do next and next steps and the quote unquote right things to do, ask yourselves, have you ever made a decision that was not rooted in some type of white supremacist construct? When you're questioning your morality, is it based on anything that wasn't taught to you by white supremacy, that you weren't indoctrinated to believe? When we talk about next steps and plans of action to do something about the events that have gone on over the weekend, are you making that decision from a place of yourself as an individual in your own ethnicity, or are you making that decision based on the constructs of white supremacy and what you have been told is the right and the wrong thing to do about it? Because I see so many people talking about what we need to organize and strategize and plan to do in systems that were designed to fail everyone that wasn't white. Creators like myself and others have been saying this for years, and we were called radical and it's extreme and that's so aggressive and the wrong thing to do. Violence is the only answer that these people are going to respond to. Y'all have been protesting, you've been boycotting, you've been picketing and praying for centuries. Do you think that white people were the majority in America the entire time? No, like honestly, how do you think white people became the majority? It's not because they made more people than everybody else. It's because they unalived more people than everybody else. Smallpox, violence. They decimated the majority to become the majority. And now we're claiming this minority status only because we live in the cage with our oppressor. Globally, they are not the majority and never have been. But even if y'all Google this right now, and I want y'all to do this, I want you to go on your phone after this video and Google how many white people are in the world. It won't give you an answer about the global population. It'll only give you an answer about America. Trust me, go do it. And then I want you to Google any other demographic. How many deaf people are in the world? Blind people are in the world. Ask what is the majority population in the world, and you will get a number and an answer. But when you ask Google, what is the majority population of white people in the world? It'll give you excuses or America. It'll say, oh, we can't possibly know that, but they know everything else. Whiteness is even a real thing. It's a man-made construct, and it was a white man that came up with it to put themselves in a position of superiority only because they said that they were. And we've all been going along with it for this entire time. So again, before y'all start strategizing, ask yourselves, are you coming up with a strategy that white men would approve of? And are you trying to strategize within the confines of what white men have given you as options? Or are you actually trying to fight back? Good day.
It's because they're obsessed, right? Like, this is the thing that I'm starting to not be able to unsee from white people. And I know that a lot of people don't like to talk about this or like have this acknowledged, but something that I'm really, really, really starting to realize is that white people are virtually obsessed with black people in a way that I don't even think they realize, right? Like, white people will do this thing where they obsess over stuff like the N-word, and they will entertain the premise that everyone says it, right? All black people say it. And then they will just start to have the most intense conversations with you. You know, like, I'm a black person. See, part of why a lot of this conversation is annoying to me is because I'm a black person who was raised in a predominantly non-black area. So I don't even have a lot of the stereotypical traits that people would assume I have because I'm black. But I have so many conversations with white people where they're talking to me because they had one conversation with some other black person, or they're presuming my position as a black person. And they're making the argument that they're not racist, but then they're also obsessively talking about this one position that some other Black person has, right? And they keep coming back to it, and they have conversations with me as if I'm supposed to answer the question, as if I'm supposed to engage with the idea, as if like I'm supposed to like pick up from where they left off with some random conversation they were having with someone else, right? And they can't get it out of their mind, you know. I have so many conversations with white people where they will compare me to someone that is not even close to me, right? Some person they knew way back when that they've never been able to get out of their mind. Meanwhile, I have a problem where if you're a white person, and I know two of you who have the same hair color and the same hair shape and vaguely similar styles, unless I've met you many times over, I'm, you know, really hard at differentiating. And I'm not trying to be offensive when I say that. I mean, white people do not stick in my mind the way that I think Black people stick in white people's minds, right? It's so passing and casual, but they're obsessive, right? And that's what I feel whenever I go out and like you just see them obsess over it, right? They can't stop talking about my skin tone, my hair texture, how they knew someone so and so and so and so, and what do you think about this and da 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 da. It's like it's obsessive, and when we're not in the room, they're still talking about us, right? It never stops. It never stops, right? The interesting thing that I've noticed about all the shit that's happening with AI is how many times it's been just used by white folks to make racist shit, right? These people are so obsessed with Black people that when they got a hold of AI, the very first thing they did was make it generate Black people who embody the stereotypes that they think Black people are, right? Like literally, it's obsessive, right? It's interesting to think about like what I've seen in terms of how white people have used AI versus how Black people have used AI too, right? Like Black people use AI to do stupid shit like make BBL versions of African countries, right? White people will use it to embody racist stereotypes, right? And then they will point at it, and they're doing it right now. I mean, and this even goes to so many other things. Like look at the recent AI ad that was made of Mamdani, who was running for mayor in New York, right? Like they can't help themselves. All they have is racism. That's it. And it's sad because I don't think that that's all they have. Like it's interesting growing up with white supremacy because you're able to kind of give white people a lot of credit, like way more credit than they probably deserve. So you naturally see, wait, why are you doing all of this crazy shit that's racist when you have all of this stuff lined up for you? Do you know what I mean? Seriously, like you could quite literally just be a good person. You could quite literally just be respectful, but you choose to be repulsive, right? You choose to be repulsive and racist, right? And it comes off to me like an inferiority complex because if you exist in this country where everything is made for you and you still have to do this bullshit, it just tells me that you're like a spoiled brat who grew up with money, who can't read the fucking room. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing that I just keep seeing over and over and over and over and over again. It's like you get everything handed to you, but then you're still upset that someone else got something. And you don't think they should have it because you're white and they're Black and you should be able to get more than them because that's the order of things. The only kind of people that need that are people who have an inferiority complex. And what's funny is when you listen to white people talk about Black folks, they will project this onto Black people, right? They will project onto Black people that we have an inferiority complex, that we're just obsessed with this bullshit, that we just won't let it go. Why are we so obsessive about slavery and things like that? But then look what's happening right now, right? Look what's happening right now. We're seeing people of color get taken off of the streets, deported, and put into camps, right? We're listening to white farmers right now who have lost their workforce talking about, you know, they thought black people would just show up to do the jobs, right? They want to say that we're obsessed with slavery, but the truth is they're obsessed with slavery. And they're still upset that they're not able to have slaves and extract wealth in that particular way. That they're still they're still not quite able. They're still not quite able to undercut people because of their race, and then get the largest return possible, which is giving them absolutely nothing. They got to give immigrants something, but they're really upset that they have to give them anything, right? Right? I think that white supremacy is an illness that a lot of white people, unfortunately, do need to work out of themselves, because I don't think you need it. I don't think it's required. I think that there's a version of history, with a future rather, without racism, without white supremacy, without the idea that certain humans are more valuable than others. But they can't let it go. They can't let it go. It's very, very sad.
A lot of white men are privately racist, and most of them shows hate towards black people. And not all white men. There are a lot of good white men out there. I'm cool with white boys and white men. I have no problem with it. I'm saying a large amount. You know how many times I've been sent death threats by white men? You know how many times I've been called the N-word with a hard ER on my DMs, calling me a slave, calling me a monkey, like calling me racial slurs so many times on the internet, bro. And you know how many times white man has came into my TikTok panel and calls me the N-word with the hard ER? And you guys are wondering, have I been called the N-word by a white person in real life? Of course I have. I've been called the N-word when I was a little boy. And last year I was called the N-word by this he was half white Mexican. And you guys were wondering, what did I do? I checked his ass out. And then he was like, oh, my bad. And I was like, oh, you're lucky I'm not one of those black guys that are chill, and I didn't punch you. I didn't do anything to you, because if you said that to the wrong black person, you would probably get jumped. You probably lose your life. Especially if you said that to Chicago. And I told him, I kept it real with him. I was like, bro, don't say that again. He was like, oh, my bad. But my problem is, if you're black and you talk about racism, if you talk about your experience with racist white people, the white supremacists will all call you the victim. You're playing the victim. Oh, you're lying. Oh, well, get over it. It's like we're not allowed to defend ourselves. Now, if we hit someone just because they call us racial slurs, you'll be like, oh, blacks are so violent. You're hitting someone over a word or words. Those are just words. Just like the racist white supremacists that gave Shiloh millions of dollars for calling the black kid the N-word, right? They all call it freedom of speech, right? I'm all for it. It doesn't mean you'll get free consequences, though. However, a lot of you guys said the opposite. That's not freedom of speech. When the black dude on TikTok was like, if white people put their hands on me, I'm going to poke him, right? I know what I'm talking about. I don't know if y'all saw the video. And then you, white supremacists that was calling freedom of speech to Shiloh Hino, calling the black kid the N-word, was saying the opposite, was trying to get him canceled. Y'all didn't say free speech. So why do you guys always change up rules, like the racist white supremacists? Why do y'all keep changing up the rules? You can't pick and choose when it's freedom of speech, when it's not freedom of speech. You guys consider free speech if this racist slurs against black people. And I was called the N-word with the hearty R yesterday by 2 white men yesterday. And those same first white men even told me, I don't see color, I don't care what race you are, but yet calls me a slur, the N-word with a hard ER. And what did I do? I just laughed, because he just wanted me to crash out. I didn't crash out. And I could tell that man was racist based on the way he speaks, the way his attitude, the way he was talking, the way he was picking and choosing and changing the rules for black and white people that are innocent and committing the same crimes. He'll make excuses of people that look like him. I could tell that. And then he was like, shut up, you stupid N-word with a hard ER, and he left. And there's this white man on my DMs, like, he saw me interviewing a beautiful white woman, right? And he called me an ugly black guy. Like, of course, I don't have a problem calling me ugly. I could care less. Why would I care what another man thinks about another man's looks? Like, it's crazy. But I just have a problem mentioning my race. He said I'm an ugly black guy. He just mentioned my race. Like, I don't know. This guy gives me racist vibes. Why did he have to mention my race? They could just call me ugly. That's really simple. You know what I'm saying? And he was like an ugly black guy that's approaching drunk white girls. I'm like, wow. And then every time I see a black man with a beautiful white woman, you always get jealous. Racist white men, they'll be like, single mother. Oh, you're an N-word lover and all that shit. And I had white boys and a white girl call me the N-word with the hardy R too. I have a video of it. I was like, I can't post it because TikTok will take it down. But as black people, we're not allowed to defend ourselves against racists. We're not allowed to speak on it without being charged. You guys would call us the victims, get off the victimhood mentality, and no one say all white people are racist. A lot of bad racist white men makes the good white boys, the good white men look bad. Like, I'm gonna really keep it real, bro. And I even commented on Twitter. I commented this beautiful white woman, right? And this white dude, slide up, was like, she'll never love you, she'll never like you, you N-word, ER. Like,
you know, one topic that baffles me is the white people's obsession with black people. Some of it goes back to the fact that they don't see us as fully human. Because for all of enslavement and even past that time, 3/5 human and all these things, we were seen as property. Just a taskmaster, a do-boy, a do-girl, some other, we almost like livestock. And so some of that, I feel, has permeated the psyche of those that descend from people that were enslavers. And some people that, because not all white people's lineage, like not all white people come from people that actually had the money or means to own people, but they acted in overseer positions. Best believe that they participated in the oppression of us, of our people. And I started digging into it because, Yesterday, I kept seeing pop up on my timeline white people have trying or attempting to co-opt the word black fatigue to say they are tired of the ghetto, blah, 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 blah. When essentially black fatigue is what we experience just dealing with the systems and the day-to-day existing within this place that we find ourselves. The same way they took woke. They trying to take black fatigue, but we're not going for that. We're going to continue to tell the truth about that terminology. But I asked AI, and I hate AI, but I asked AI, why are white people obsessed with black people? And it responded as the people that actually programmed AI, because this is what it said. The query expresses a harmful stereotype and generalization suggesting that white people are obsessed with black people. But ChatGPT and OpenAI and all those things have been found to have racist perceptions because of the people that they only are able to pull the information as what's been presented to them, and the vast majority have been programmed by those. But so they see us as things versus as people, right? They feel they know better than us. And the constant survey, because they were pointing finger telling us what to do back then, they feel like they still know more than us or better than us how we need to conduct ourselves in life. They don't want us to occupy spaces that are above the stations that they feel that we should occupy. Thus, all this talk around DEI and meritocracy, which is nonsensical. Let's be very fucking clear. But they want us in a subservient, because it's about maintenance of social hierarchy. And when they see black people rising above certain stations, oh, they all up in arms. But my thing, and not only that, the implicit bias, and then they threatened by black joy and all these things. And that's why people say, well, if they can't stand us so much, why they can't leave us alone? Because they feel like they're still supposed to be dictating our movements, dictating, because, you know, we could not laugh on the plantation. We could not openly express ourselves. There were so many restrictions on us just existing. And these new white people are the offspring of those people. And so they still feel that they are supposed to be in the mix. And that's why when y'all be passing out passes to come to cookouts, I don't come from that. My family didn't play that shit. So I don't know nothing about it. At all. No. Absolutely not. We gotta do better. And then some of y'all are just so loose with information online. And I know you want to share it with your people, but you need to come up with something else. Your left hand ain't never supposed to know what your right hand is doing, and vice versa. Y'all just spilling the beans. Just constantly just spilling the beans. Just share. And that is part of the problem, because we are so community-based and we're so open and welcoming to people. And that is how they came in and poisoned people against one another and captured so many people, because we were just like, oh, these are different people, but they are people. But are they, though? Are they? It's got to be a line. Got to be a line. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that is something that has been on my mind. Why are you so obsessed? Why? And a lot of it is because you think they really do feel like they still own us. Some of them. We don't know no better.
Okay, so let's talk facts. Racism isn't just about ignorance or hate, right? It's about profit. Because slavery didn't just build cotton empires, it built Wall Street. Black bodies were literally collateral for loans, insurance policies, and investments. So you fast
This is all I got from this video, and there is something that I am going to say, right? In my language, or where I come from, there is what we say: when a child keeps crying and he or she continued pointing at a place. I am crying, I'm pointing somewhere. Maybe the child doesn't talk or something. It is left for you, right? That probably takes care of the child to know that there is something wrong. I don't know if this does make sense, but it does for me a whole lot. Black people have been saying that majority of these people, or they are racist, and then also continue to point fingers at white men. Sometimes when people that do not understand how all this work might think maybe these people are making all this up, I am not gonna lie to you. That's why sometimes you just have to give some people grace. Why am I saying give some people grace? The truth is that Black people's experience is very unique. It is unique in the sense that the things surrounding them, it's hard to believe. I am saying this and I hope you understand where I am coming from, right? I remember the first time I started, because firstly, I started with Black history, getting to know plantation, Devil Punch Bowl, all of it, Lake Lanier, all those were the things I covered first, a lot of them. Wall Street, then before I started talking about racism. Why I did that was to to get myself grounded in the things that I am supposed to get into. Because you can't just jump into racism without knowing the foundation of what started it. I remember there was a day, which one? Like, man, I cried so hard. Like, how? Some people will be like, does it mean that? Now, let me tell you something. Just like some people are mad when you tell them that maybe people in Africa do not know maybe some certain things going on in United. They know, every other thing, how life and all that. But, history is something people will have interest to get to know. It doesn't work that way. Just like the way if I ask you, who is the president of Nigeria? Who is the vice president of Nigeria? Who are the congressmen and women? You do not know it, right? And I am not going to come and start blaming you for not knowing it. You must not know it. But if it's in Nigeria that if you are Nigerian, I'm telling you, why are you supposed to know this? It's justifiable, right? Follow me. Now, even Nigerian history, they do not teach everything very well, but Nigerians love to read some of them, and they know. Before they stopped, they tell some part, and they don't tell some part. I see some people asking, does it mean that there is no school in Nigeria or something? They have school. People go to good school. When I say good school, very good school. But Nigerians teach Nigerian history, not completely, the same way they teach American history in United States, but still do not tell the whole story, like whitewash. And I also remember Russian, Ukrainian, and all of them, I see them, they're like, they never told them anything like this. So all this hiding Black history, it's something they also, I don't know if they signed any treaty or something that Black history must not be taught in some places. I don't know if something like this is very much possible. I don't know if you understand what I am saying, because these people are crazy. They know what they did. And for what so far, they are trying so hard to cover everything up. Right? And a very big thank you to Black people for not closing their mouth, because each time I talk about Black history, I keep saying this. It is because you did not close your mouth. That's why a lot of people are now beginning to learn your history and understand better. So Black people have been screaming the same thing. Everybody is saying the same thing. Some of them sounds like something nobody can ever try in this world, or we never do in this world. But all these things are happening. They happened and still happening on the ground. I remember people I've been saying this thing here all the time. In the comment section, somebody asked me, some people were like, do not mind this African girl. I think she gets people to act most of the videos she posts. And I laughed so hard. I was like, as poor as I am, where will I get actors to pay actor? Majority of the videos you see the accent, you see how different, like, how do I post videos of different people every day on daily basis, and you are telling me I am acting them? How is that possible? Do I blame them sometimes? I do not blame them, because the kind of stories or the kind of thing you see as something you will not believe somebody will wake up to do to somebody. But it happened to people. That's why sometimes I am like, these people, you don't think of them, but they go to sleep with you in mind for some reasons. So many reasons, which I have also said. You know, sometimes they wake up, they are like, wait, are we still doing great? Are we still doing okay? Even after everything we have done, and we are still moving around freely. So these people, we don't know if they'll wake up one day and say, okay, now it's back to, we are taking everything. And for them to sometimes scream that we do not want to be the minority. All those things you hear them say tells a whole lot that they knew what they are doing. No, see, I didn't know, but I think people that are bullies or racist have low self-esteem. Because the day I will wake up to go to someone else's comment, be you a white man or a Black woman, to start saying denigrating things or start cursing you out, then I am not a good person. I could have whatever I have in my mind. That is okay, because I am human, right? But you see that comment section, it's none of my business. The best I can use my platform to say what I want to say. But coming to your comment to throw you even, or to tell you that I am a racist, or you are not worth being human being or something, or you are not worth living among us and all that. That is where the problem comes as human beings. But some people do it like it's nothing on daily basis. Bye for now. I have talked too much.